Thankfulness, appreciation, whatever you call it, gratitude is the theme of the season. But it's not just for the Thanksgiving holiday. Developing gratitude for what we have, how far we've come in our lives, or for the people that we have can be a powerful, healing mental health practice.
Today, we look at why it has the impact it has, the far reaching benefits of practicing it, and our own personal and professional experiences with gratitude and how it has helped us with some of our clients. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Collect Your Thoughts. I'm Jason LeCompte, licensed professional counselor and clinical supervisor.
And I'm Sean Millhouse, licensed professional counselor.
Hey, Shawnee.
Hi, Jason. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a little more relaxed, I think, today. I've been sleeping well. I think it's maybe the shift in
Nice.
seasons or something, but yeah, I've got a little bit more of a chill vibe today, I feel like. How about you?
I would like to say that as as you know, before we were recording this, I was having all kinds of technical difficulties. So we're mostly just Sean related difficulties. So
User
nothing
error.
new, nothing new.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, like I am having. I'm grateful. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day,
Mm,
and we are very much into fall now, and that feels really, really awesome.
yeah.
I'm actually
Same
quite
for
grateful
sure.
for it.
I thought maybe you were being a little heavy-handed there, but I could hear where you were going.
I actually meant what I was saying, and then I decided to add that extra little
Yeah,
ridiculousness at the end.
yeah. But yes, we are talking about gratitude. So yes, very appropriate to mention things that
Namaste.
we're grateful for. Yes. No,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay. But it's
Yeah.
also like kind of what do they say? The reason for the season? Like that's the kind of the theme of the
I
Thanksgiving
feel like
season,
that's
right?
what
Is gratitude.
Hallmark came up with, and we're all like, yeah, sure.
Uh, oh, okay.
But I mean,
Thanksgiving
like,
is
I think
not.
that's what I wanted. That's part of why I think we both wanted to talk about this. But one of my reasons was because of, I think, the hallmarkification of Thanksgiving, gratitude, the holiday season. I really think it's important to bring gratitude back down to what it is at its root and how important and meaningful it can be.
Like it's become maybe a little bit commercialized or even cliche, but it's actually an important practice, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I think that I don't know about you, but I think
Yeah,
sometimes when I hear people mention gratitude, it can feel very maybe like toxic positivity at times,
sure.
or it feels very yoga teacher who isn't reading the room when the vibes aren't there. And she's just like, let's just lean into our gratitude.
Like
And it's like,
performative is what I feel like you're describing.
yeah, yeah, like, I think it's
Yeah,
in the vein of doing something good, but it's just not really feeling genuine. I think the authenticity of gratitude is super important, and that's
yeah,
what helps make it what I believe is more legitimate, and I wanna hopefully help bring it back to that.
yeah, yeah. It's actually something I've taken kind of a little bit more seriously this year and started like
Mhm.
practicing it more often. And I've noticed a real shift in, I don't know, mood, perspective, outlook. Like
Yeah,
it's been powerful. It's been, I don't know, little by little maybe, but like it's been something that I've really kind of leaned into and worked with my clients on leaning into as well.
that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically why I wanted to talk about it. Like it's obviously a theme of the season,
Yeah,
but also it's a really powerful practice. So yeah.
yeah. I think too, like, I know that it's been something that has absolutely been super important for me
Mm,
during really difficult times in my life, which I over the last few years, I've had a lot of really challenging events. And if it wasn't for, I think, a gratitude practice that I already had in place, plus leaning into it even more, I don't know
mm,
if I would have maybe gone through it as effectively as I think I have been able to.
Okay.
And for that, I think it's such an important part of the practice of what we do in therapy, but also how we can enhance the human experience because it just opens you up for so many other things.
Sure. Well, okay. So like what? Like what have you become open to through your gratitude practice?
Oh, I mean, I think that this is definitely something I was thinking of more getting into down the road of our episode in more detail, but for sure I've had some significant losses
Uh,
in the last couple of years, and having gratitude sort of be this, I don't know, this is gonna sound strange, but almost like a seeing eye dog through grief is something that has
huh.
been really helpful because I think when you're in deep, deep grief,
Yeah.
you can't see anything. You're just like, what do I do with myself? And
Right.
grief sort of takes you and says, okay, let's just look at it all. Let's look at the miracle of the situation, even if it's over, even if that person's gone, whatever, and find what changed you, what made you better, what can
Yeah.
you stop and go, thank goodness that happened, or even not the ending, but that the thing happened at all, whether it's a person, an experience, a thing, and to be able to go, I'm so grateful despite how fucking sad I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Wow.
And it
I
feels
f
weird to hold both
yeah.
things, but it's
It
absolutely
does,
been
but
it's
it's a
been
yes
everything.
and. You're talking about a yes and, like a really, really
Yes.
powerful yes and.
Very,
My
very.
truth, I'm accepting the reality of where I'm at, the pain of where I'm at, and also trying to dial into the joy or the memory or the right, like essentially
Yeah.
the gratitude for. Yeah, that's pretty cool to hear that that's how you've used it. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. Yeah.
Of course.
I haven't like I don't know that I've looked at it from that perspective, but I have so part of my I guess my daily practice or I wouldn't say daily, but my frequent practice is when I find something that just brings a little bit of joy. I think I shared the other day a, a flower petal came like
Oh, mhm.
creeping out from underneath my car seat or something. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like it was kind of pretty and then just kind of strange, but
Yeah.
it was just a way of reminding me like the world is beautiful, even if it doesn't feel like that all the time. And so
Mhm.
I just took a moment to appreciate it. And then I shared it with all you guys in our group text and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice. We call it, yeah, yeah,
No, I was just gonna say, I think that to me, like, that's where it starts is in those moments like you mentioned, and then
yeah,
my hope is that through maybe our conversation, that we can also then talk about how you can reach it during the what
yeah,
I mentioned, those
sure.
really dark moments where choosing gratitude is so much a choice, but it is the right choice if you can
Yeah,
find it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So maybe we should get into some factoids about this
yeah,
topic. What do you
yeah,
think?
definitely. Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
First of all, one of the, I think, big contributors to eventually getting to gratitude right now came from a man named Robert Trivers,
Uh,
whose 1971 theory of reciprocal altruism suggests that gratitude evolved as an emotion regulating our response to altruistic acts,
uh,
motivating both appreciation and reciprocation. Gratitude, in this way, has deep evolutionary roots as a mechanism for building trust and social bonds.
yeah.
And I think what's really interesting about that is, I don't know about you, it can kind of sound a little icky being like, you are being good to me, so I will be good to you.
Oh, maybe a little
But
transactional.
yeah, but at the same time, like, because that's what I'm hearing is like with reciprocal altruism is if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Sure.
And while maybe I'm coming, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts first because I feel like I'm the one that's looking at it from like we're just, business associates making this deal to be good to each other as opposed to like, I'm a good human and you're a good human. Now let's be good to
Yeah.
each other.
My first thought when I heard that was that we are social creatures and
Yeah.
we thrive in small tribes. Like when we have strong community around us that's supportive, that is when we are at our best, right? It's when we live our longest, when we have the fewest health problems, all the things. So when I first heard that term, reciprocal altruism, right, it was a little bit of like if I have time, energy, resources, and you need, I will give, I will provide. In the hopes that when I am in
Mm,
need and you have time, energy, resources, you will reciprocate, right? So
yeah.
there's the altruism. I think is the key piece. There's no expectation. There's a
Yeah.
hope. There's a hope. There's a trust. There's a communal piece to that, right? But it didn't feel. I don't know. I didn't jump right to transactional, but I understand how you got there. Yeah,
I think my brain, I don't know if it's because I've become increasingly, what's the word? Sort of, uh, what is the word? You might have the word. Do you have the word? Do you know what I'm
realistic.
saying? Realistic's very cynical. Cynical.
I didn't
That was
want to
really
brand you with cynical. I was
no,
going to
no,
go
no,
there
no.
first. Yeah,
It's I mean, I'm branding myself,
realistic.
so
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that the world has made me increasingly cynical about
Mm,
goodwill because to
sure.
me it sounds like, I'm doing this to save up. Like I'm basically in case I need to cash in on a
Some kind of
words are so hard.
favor. Some kind of
Yes.
yeah. Right.
Yes, a
Like.
favor. Yeah, like, oh,
Right.
you know what? I did you a solid. Remember when I got that deal for you? And
Yeah.
could you help me out with that? Which I know that's not really what it's saying, but I never want to. My opinion, it's sort of like with giving gifts, is I'm not giving the gift to get a gift back.
Uh.
I am just giving because I want to, and I hope that
Okay.
you enjoy it. And so when I
Yeah.
hear reciprocal altruism, it almost makes
Yeah.
it sound like the intention is to get the altruism back as opposed to just being altruistic.
Sure. Yeah. It's like that's antithetical to altruism is to get it
Exactly.
to get
Thank
it
you.
back.
Yes,
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
way I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
putting it.
Yeah.
So
No,
maybe it's
I
just
get what you're
my
saying. Yeah.
crooked brain taking it that way.
I mean,
But,
it's easy to become a cynical. I try and really push that frame away, that mindset away. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of terrible shit in the world. So for sure, I see how
true
you
that.
got there. I think
Yeah.
more it's mine. Like my view is maybe more like social glue, right? Like if we do this for each other and we develop a history of habit around this, then we build trust in each other. And so
Yeah.
now I show up and our community is stronger. Our friendship, our connection is stronger when we cooperate in that way, right? When we decide to
Yes.
cooperate. Now, not every human is going to do it in equal measure, and not every human is geared this way, and not
Hmm.
every human is as maybe aware or untraumatized or there's so many different variables, right?
Yeah.
About like how
Yeah.
that can affect how this shows up. But when we do this willingly, openly, and then it's reciprocated, it does build a really strong connection.
And I like it that way. I think
Yeah.
hearing it more about creating the social glue. I don't
Hmm.
mind it that way because to me that is about saying by doing this we're making everything better as opposed
Yeah.
to I'm doing this so I can get something, but it's
Right.
for so we can all get something is how I'm
Sure.
hearing you sort of describe it. And I don't mind that. I feel
So
like
that
that a lot.
Yeah, that hopefully our community is stronger. It's
Yes.
really like in our culture where like scarcity is sort of the bottom line, right? It's
Yeah.
hard to lean into abundance, to lean into I'm going to give you when I have it if you need it, right? That's a really hard mindset to especially in end stage capitalism. Like
Yes.
everyone is just in so much pain and it's
Yeah.
really tough. It's really tough right now. It's really tough to remember to do that. But I think it's even more important now, right?
Oh,
When we are
absolutely.
hurting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
Yeah.
so when you do that, when you provide for others with no expectation of reciprocity, just maybe a hope, right? How do you
Mhm.
feel?
I feel awesome. I feel good. I feel like I did something, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
You
really great.
contributed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm not just sitting back and, hoping that things get better, but I'm trying to offer a way forward that can at
Yeah.
least make something not as difficult.
Yeah. What about when somebody does something for you and it's out of the goodness of their heart?
Oh, I mean, that just takes me, it takes me back. It's always a nice, lovely surprise when somebody does something, even if it's just like a little note saying, "Hope you're having
Sure.
a good day," or "I saw this a silly toy and I decided to get it for you so you could just
Yeah.
put it up in your office or something." Just those little, or even just like a text when they go, "I miss you and I hope you're doing okay today."
Yeah.
Though anything like that, it just always makes me feel seen. It makes me feel appreciated. It makes me
Hmm.
feel like I matter. And I know I need to know that first, but it's nice to know when there's external elements that care about you too.
Sure. And those feelings are all really positive, right? Like those,
Very.
we want to experience those things more.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so
and I think
when,
that's
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, no, no, I was just gonna say, I think that's also what's so cool about gratitude is how it does lead to better, at least through our studies that we've seen so far,
Yeah.
increases in emotional health. Like, for example, in 2024, there was a nurses' health study that was done, and it basically showed links to lower depression, better sleep, improved cardiovascular health, and
Hmm.
even increased longevity. And as a Harvard researcher, Tyler Vanderweel, put it, gratitude makes people feel happier, and maybe that happiness makes them more motivated to take care of themselves and others, which
Mm,
that to me was the point that I thought was really important, is that it's not just about, yay, I feel grateful, but it's, I feel so grateful that I want to maintain this machine of
hmm.
my body so then I can continue to experience that gratitude and continue showing gratitude through taking care of that. What
Yeah.
about you?
To me, what you just described is like, that's the best illustration of how we are wired to be social creatures.
Yeah.
Is that when we do this and develop this and contribute these ways and right, it then it like reinforces itself. And so it
Yes.
builds this happier, stronger, more grounded community. It's incredible. It's almost a little
Yeah.
bit like magical.
Mhm.
It sounds almost silly to say it that way, but that's true. Truly, like this happens inside of us, and it happens almost automatically when we do these things. So
Yeah.
it is kind of magical. It is like it's a natural outcome of us behaving in this way, which is really cool.
Yeah. And I think too, what's interesting is, none of the research is saying oh, it's going to overwhelmingly change your life in the most incredible ways. It's going to cure cancer. But it does say it gives you, I think, that extra bump that is significant enough to
Mm,
make you do things in a more positive way for you and the people around you. And
sure.
that is significant. And I
Yeah.
think that that's the important part is it doesn't always have to be a direct correlation in order for it to be meaningful.
Is it so? Are you describing like does it become cumulative over time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. I really
I think
do.
that's what I've experienced too. It's been a subtle shift, but it's like so there was something else, another study that I read recently about stress
Mhm.
and that stress is becoming the more they study it, the more they're looking at it, it becomes the number one indicator of longevity. Not diet,
Mm,
not exercise, not genetics. It's the level of stress that you have in your life. And when you practice gratitude and you contribute openly and willingly without expectation of reciprocity, we feel good. You described all the ways. You said words like lovely and better and uplifted and right, like
yeah,
all of these ways of being are not stressful. they're
right, right.
they're pleasant, they're happy, they're positive. So the more we do this, the less stress we have, the longer and healthier lives that we live. It's again like magic, but it works. It's just how it's supposed to work, and
Yeah,
we don't know that. We don't pay enough attention to it. We don't practice it enough. So that's been the number one, I think, thing for me is I am more often in a better mood, more positive, more energetic. I am sleeping better. Some of that might
Yeah.
be the weather change, but I am like, I truly do. I've slept more soundly in the last few months than I have in the last few years, which is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
great.
It is. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Well, I know too, especially you're somebody that definitely takes exercising and doing that regularly as a very important part of you being able to show up for everyone else. I'm going to go on a limb and imagine that's you have gratitude for the fact that A, you have the means and ability to do it. You have the body that's strong enough to keep enduring it. And then you have all the great positive effects of it by being clearer, being more focused, being more present, and feeling stronger and healthier in
Mhm.
yourself because of taking care of your wellness. And so I'm putting you out there as I think a good role model for how the mind body connection really, really, really matters. Jason, you live that, which I think is really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's funny, the what you just described, gratitude is definitely interwoven into that, but it's almost like a chicken and egg scenario
for
where
sure.
if I wasn't having gratitude, then I wouldn't feel as good, and so I wouldn't take care of myself as well, and then I would just start to decline, right? And then it would be harder to find
Yeah.
gratitude. But once I do implement it, I do feel better, and so I'm able to swing, right, and kind of keep things buoyed up
Yes.
in a really natural way, I guess, right? A way that I
Yeah.
know is good for me. So I appreciate that observation. Thanks.
Yeah. How would you say this has shown up with your clients? What has it been like for you
Like in my
doing
work?
gratitude? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, your prostitution I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Gonna take that out. I am here to say that was me making a joke. Jason is not a prostitute. And if he is, it's not something he's ever shared with me. Thank you.
Also, no shame on sex work.
Correct. Correct.
Correct.
Hashtag
Yes.
sex workers are workers too.
Yes. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of it has been similar where encouraging my clients to develop a gratitude practice has been similarly useful for them, where they're in a better mood more often. They are noticing positive mental health and physical health and relational benefits. I know for at least a couple of clients, probably in the last year or two, it's been essential for them in working against their depression.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it have like a almost a curative effect. I won't go that far, but like the impact on run of the mill depression is incredible. To obviously read that, know about that academically and in studies and things in the news or whatever, but to see it live, to see it actually has been astounding, to just know that that is kind of an essential part of our mental health, or
Yeah.
at least for some of us. What about you? Similar things?
Yeah, oh yeah. I definitely I always like to first gauge with clients, like, if they are going through something, and I'd like to ask them, "How is gratitude a part of their lives?"
Hmm.
And I definitely, depending on the client, will walk it differently because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, you'll have those clients where it's like, "Oh, I can tell this person just hates everything about the world right now."
Hmm.
And I don't wanna come off like that person I was talking about earlier that's like, "So let's talk about gratitude and, like, how awesome that is, right?" Like, I don't know why it's always that voice apparently. But yeah, I like to gauge with people what that even looks like. Do they have practices? And also, like, how do they use it if they do have practices? And if they don't, where
Yeah.
to start? And I think it
Sure.
is I think it's tricky to continue to find fresh and organic ways to talk about it that feels interesting for each client. I don't do you feel like you ever run into any sort of cynicism around it or any
Oh, for
pushback
sure.
on it? Okay, good. I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
the only one. I was like, "Am I the only one who does that?"
No,
Yeah.
the I honestly, I will frame it more often than not, where I will cop to how sort of cliche it sounds coming from a therapist, right?
Yeah,
I usually say this might sound a little therapist-y, a little cliche, but
sure.
here's how it's helped me. Here's how it's helped other people that I know, right? And if you can do this one small thing, see how often you can do it in a day or in a week, right? And
Yeah.
just try it out. What do you have to lose? What
Mhm.
I have found interesting is I have clients who don't know, I have had clients who don't know what that feeling is. Have you run into
Mm.
this? Like if I say, do you have gratitude, appreciation for X? And they're like, I don't really know how to find that feeling. I don't really know how to drum that up or dwell on it or internalize it in the moment. You ever experienced this?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not in as direct of words like you're
Yeah.
mentioning, but I can definitely tell it's not something that they naturally can do. So then it definitely is a lot of walking through examples of
Hmm.
what that might look like specifically for them, or
Hmm.
things that are really universal that I think if all humans and earthlings or whatever can think
Uh-huh.
about gratitude in this, that they really are these simple things that we get every day that maybe we do not think about how special it is that we have those things in the first place.
Sure. Sure.
Like, I think that
Yeah.
to me is one of the biggest powers of gratitude is it can make the ordinary extraordinary.
Huh. Like the small, the mundane can actually like have
Yeah.
some meaning. It'll have meaning to it.
To be able to say,
Yeah.
I can go outside and I'm grateful for fresh air and that I have lungs that are able to breathe it in
Right.
without any support because thank goodness my body is working as it's intended.
Yeah.
Those, I think it's about getting almost molecular about it to be able to go, thank goodness this chain of events worked out where I can enjoy this oxygen.
Right. That's I mean that is literally molecular. Talking about
Yeah.
oxygen, but that's really cool. I also like I'll credit you a little bit too. Sometimes when I run into this, I will use the hot and cold
Hmm.
metaphor that you
Hmm.
use. But I'll texture it with does this feel easier also? Does it feel more peaceful, more pleasant, right? So and those
Hmm.
are, the warm and fuzzy. So that's are you feeling warmer about this, or is it sort of cold or heavy, or right? There's not a whole lot. Dark maybe is another way to like call out the opposite of that. So
Yeah.
yes, finding meaning in the small things. That's actually a really good approach to that. I like that.
I think
Um,
that's what makes it more
yeah,
tangible than if you're like, hey, even if, let's say, your dad is really pissing you off and won't support your
yeah,
relationship, at least you have a dad. Like, like that, that to me is where
yes,
it gets toxic, right? Because it's like,
sure,
okay, sure, yeah, yay. Like, I mean, yes, it's thank you, but also that's not the point. And I think
right,
that's what's important is you want to enhance the point you're making and not just bring this random aside out that
mm,
makes a person go, I think you're not hearing what I'm saying. Like it's gratitude is not about nullifying negative things, but
right,
it is about saying, okay, here's this, it's kind of this is a line I love from one of Taylor Swift songs where it says you wrapped my barbed wire in wool or something like that is how she described it.
uh,
And to me, that's what gratitude can do is it can really soften the really sharp and pointy parts of our lives that really hurt and it can help
yeah,
maybe make them not as painful.
I like that. It's when you were talking about that, it's another kind of representation of a yes and. We're not
Hmm.
nullifying the negative. We're saying that is painful and sad and difficult, and
Yeah.
there are these other things too that are good and positive and supportive and peaceful and easy. And can we also try and feel those feelings alongside the sad and the heavy?
Yes. Yeah. It's
That
it's
is
like
that
to
is how it is buoyant. Yeah.
absolutely. To
Yeah.
me, it goes back to say you success only exists in a vacuum without failure is
Yeah.
completely that's bullshit
Yeah.
because failure is typically how you get to the end point. And so if you can't
Yeah.
embrace all of it,
Right.
that this is what it took to get me here, then you're not honoring the whole journey.
I am gratefully using this word intentionally seeing this change on social media. I am seeing people call out the realities, sometimes the horrors of existence right now, and appreciating the small things, right?
Yeah.
And giving permission for things like rest and giving permit, right? And making space for things like the small little, I saw a bird's nest today and there were eggs in it. And it
Yeah.
was just a little bit of joy for as terrible as it. So yeah, I know we're just kind of reiterating, but the,
Yeah.
something you alluded to earlier, and I thought maybe if you wanted to speak on it a little bit,
Yeah.
how it helped you navigate grief. Like you talked about having some loss. Do you want to talk about
Yeah.
that a little
Yeah.
bit? Yeah.
Absolutely. So, first in August 2023, and then it'll be almost a year in December
Mm,
2024. I lost both of my cats got sick very quickly, and I had to unfortunately put them to sleep.
yeah.
And that was something ever since I decided to adopt cats. I've mentioned this to people. I talk about my experience a lot. Is I don't know if this is just a messed up way my brain works, but I think growing up with animals, I've unfortunately seen the beginning, the middle, the end many times. And so when I adopted my own that were just for me as a grown up, me being their primary and only person raising them, it really became this focus for me to be like, I want to soak up every moment and I hope
Mm,
they, can stay alive for as long as they can, but one day they're going to die. Like,
yeah.
and that
Yeah.
thought was never far from me. And I don't know what that says about me, but anyway, that's for another episode. But when I lost them, it really I mean, of course, like it's just devastating. It feels like the bottom has dropped out. It feels like
Yeah.
you just this thing that meant everything to you, that gave you so much love, that gave you so much just life experiences. All
Mm,
of that is just gone. And so, first, it's just this I can't believe this is happening. I don't want to like face it. I don't want to look at it. But then it's if you don't look at it, and when you're crying, if you can't go, "Oh, I'm just really I'm grateful that I even got to be their dad in the first place."
mm,
Like, when I can take it back to even though I never want to experience some of the worst nights of my life ever again with the losses of them, I also know that I'm a better person now, that I show up better now, and their love, their unconditional love made me love better because animals heal things in us. I really believe that.
oh yeah.
And so then also, I that was when I still had one cat left. And so that also then really made that last year and some change with that cat. I
Yeah.
got to enjoy him longer in a way because it was even fresher to go, thank goodness I have you in this. And now,
Yeah.
I don't have either of them, that's also been the thing is like, how do I make sense of it? How do I make meaning out of this? Which I think gratitude is a part of how I've been able to make meaning out of my grief because in my mind, in my hope, they're together again and they're playing and they're with all the other animals that I've lost and people I've lost. And
Mm,
to me, being able to have gratitude for their spirits are hopefully now looking over me and watching out for me and maybe visiting me through other elements. I don't know. It's very woo
yeah.
woo, but to me, that's what allows the gratitude to show up and do some healing. It doesn't mean I don't cry. I cry still all the time about those losses. That never changes. That's definitely a testament to your love. But
Uh,
I can go, oh, it's over, but thank goodness I had it in the first place.
mhm. That that's really poignant. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks. It's hard. Like I definitely, my
Yeah.
hope is for us to do a grief episode one day. I don't think I'm
Oh,
ready for that yet.
100%.
But
Yeah.
because I feel like I could just, I mean, I feel like it could be multi-parter, but yeah, gratitude is a lifesaver. It really has been.
Yeah. Grief is a huge topic. We'll definitely get into that at some point. Um,
Yeah.
Something you said right at the end reminds me of, and I don't know if this is from Winnie the Pooh or, the A. Milne author, but um, don't be sad that it's over. Be grateful that it happened. Is that
Yeah.
the?
Something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
I think it's from Winnie the Pooh. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
also just yeah,
Yeah,
it is kind of like that. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Kind of like I don't know. There's a
something
lot of
like that.
people.
Yeah,
It has almost become a lot of like another like live, laugh, love kind of thing.
yeah.
Because it's like dance because it's here. Don't sit it out because it's I don't know some dumb shit.
As
So
therapists, we know
yeah,
the dangers of nullifying the heavy feelings, the hard feelings, and not experiencing them. We know that
yeah,
those wait for us in the background if we don't. Gratitude's
yeah.
not about that. That's not what we're saying, right? That's where it starts
No,
to lean towards toxic positivity, right? Where
yeah,
we're just trying to say, no, don't feel that. Feel this other thing because here and blah 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 blah. And how, yeah, you're right. How like fluffy it can get, and
yeah.
sometimes toxic. Yeah,
No, you can
yeah,
still curse the world. You can still hate that the
yeah,
terrible things have happened and have to work through that. And you can also say thank you for happening in the first place.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because there was some good in there at some point in time.
yeah, for sure.
So Jason, I am curious, do you see a difference in and not just with clients,
Mm.
but when it comes to even people that you interact with in your life?
Uh,
Can you sense a palpable difference between those who seem I think you know where I'm going, who seem grateful versus those that seem like they really struggle to find anything to be grateful for?
I'm chuckling because I can't not see this, Sean. This is the therapist part of my brain that I have a really difficult time turning off when I'm just
Sure.
being a social creature. 100%. Yeah. It's almost like sorry, I was backpedaling a little bit, but like kind of the joking observation that I make when I talk about therapy in humans is like, we're complicated, but also we're not that complicated. Like we need sunshine and fresh air and water and food and sleep and community, and like we need things obviously, right? And then the solves for depression and anxiety and trauma and all these things, like they're going to look different, right? And that's where the complexity comes in. But gratitude is available to all of us, right? And
Yeah.
gratitude helps almost all of us. All right. I can't be universal about that, but like I can be freaking universal about that. Like it's
Yeah.
obvious when people have some sort of outlook on life just through their conversations, through the observations that they're making, through the connections that they talk about or don't talk about. And when it's all sort of negative, or when it's all sort of cynical, or it's all like um nihilistic, that's something
Mhm.
I've run into, right? Where like nothing means anything, and so what are we doing, and it does it, what essentially what they're telling me is like life has no meaning for them.
So then,
Wow.
yeah, can you yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's sad, it's yucky, it's so I'm curious what yeah, like what are the adjectives that you would give to those people? Like when you see that energy,
Yeah.
what does it viscerally look like and feel like to you to be near
um
and around people like that?
like that's how it feels.
Yeah.
It feels heavy, it feels overly cynical, it feels dark and
Mhm.
gloomy, and
Mhm.
almost like, if we're going to use that word toxic again, like that's, I don't want to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't a protracted conversation, right? Unless I'm
Yeah.
getting paid for it. Who inhabits that space more often than not, it will bring me down, right? It will
Mhm.
suck that sort of positivity out of me, and I just don't want to be around that very very often. So I mean I try and look at the bright side or try and offer, a something, maybe a sunnier view of something, or, whatever. But it's really got to come from ourselves. I think we have to
Mhm.
know that it's important. We have to lean into that. We have to find our connection internally to that feeling
Mhm.
and drum it up, right? And then like not internalize it, lean on it,
Yeah.
maybe internalize it. I mean, if we're drumming it up and connecting to it, but like really reflecting and going, this is also happening. So I know we've said that already in various ways, but that's how I see it. Are
Yeah.
you used to similar experiences?
Yeah, what it
Yeah.
was leading me to reflect on
Yeah.
was when eventually, if you are in a gratitude practice, and
Mm,
shocker, this happens with any type of wellness experience, I believe, that is practiced,
mm,
is that your tolerance for those who don't have those or who don't have something similar in
mhm.
use is it's harder to be around it. It's
Yeah.
harder to go, I want to make space for you because everything you share, there is no upside that you were choosing because it's a choice. Gratitude is a choice, like everything. And if we are going to choose, if you have the power to choose, then let's choose how we can look at this from the best point of view possible. But a
Mm,
lot of people don't want to do heavy lifting of that. They think that's not being honest or real when it's like, no, you can say this and this and this are bullshit, but
mhm.
also say, thank goodness for this and this and this. These things make me feel grateful for life. And if you don't have that balance, then you're probably going to feel like a lopsided person, just like anybody who's toxically positive. Right. Like, I can't be
Yeah.
around that either. I know that I've said to you in the past, because I know I can be more dark and twisty, where I'm like, Jason, I need to feel free to be complaining or bitchy about something. Like, sometimes
Yeah.
I just need to gripe and be pissed off and pissy. And at the same time, you can't live in pissy land
Uh-huh.
and expect everybody to want to be around you. So it is about having accountability for all of it, but you gotta find the balance.
It's so interesting about what you're saying. So this is before we moved. This is a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember. We had one of our staff meetings, and I didn't tell you beforehand, but
Hmm.
I made space for, because I could kind of feel it coming off of you. Do you remember this?
I know
Where
what you're gonna say.
I made space for all of us to just sort of gripe about whatever we needed to gripe about that morning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you did. You really took it and ran with it and gripe. But I could like, again, I could feel it coming off of you. But this is the funny part. You say you feel like you're becoming more cynical, and that's the biggest. I don't remember the turning point in our friendship, but I can tell you that you have become happier, more positive outlook, more grateful, more like you've become sunnier in the last couple of years than the first couple of years that I met you. And I know a lot of that is growth and work and loss and all the things. It's just life, right? You
Oh
growing
yeah.
because yeah, of course. But like I know you're saying you're becoming more cynical, and I actually think the opposite. I
I
think
think,
you
yeah.
are happier and more like honestly, like your outlook is just brighter. It's more like motivated. You're connected to your why or something, right? There's
Yeah.
more meaning for like, yeah. So you feel it too.
No, yeah, maybe I definitely, I don't wanna say I definitely, let me back up. When I think when I mentioned my cynicism, like, that definitely was more about the altruistic, term that we were talking about, the reciprocal
Okay, sure.
altruism. But yeah, in general, though, I feel way more in touch with the Sean that I was a long time ago. And that
Mm,
is because of the work I've done. That's also because I'm in better spaces. That's because I have better friendships. That's because I have, faced shit and made it to their
sure.
side, improve things, so right? Like you were alluding
Yeah.
to. So yeah, like I definitely think there's room for both. And I never want to be one too much or the other. And it's
Yeah.
just something you have to monitor in yourself, which I think that's why with you, I can be like, Jason, what do you hate? Because you're usually like, It's
Yeah,
just once
it's a
on the road. I
blessing.
expect you
It's
to
just
do
a
like a singing in the rain dance around the building, you
I'm not
know?
that
I mean, it's how it comes
positive.
off. You have very good
This is
vibes, and
true.
it's a
This is true.
great thing, but it's also when the room isn't necessarily there, it's kinda like, I don't wanna be the damp rag that's like,
Yeah,
"Hi, Jason." But I also don't wanna be like, "Hi, Jason," because that's
right.
how it feels in my head, those 2 voices.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the observation. I think it's more, well, we don't have to get into that. Like some of it is my outlook and just sort of my
Sure.
natural disposition. Some of it is me compartmentalizing some of
Yeah.
the stuff
Sure.
that maybe I shouldn't be and I could be more present to and expressive of, but yeah, I
We're
do
all doing the
appreciate
best we
that.
can,
So,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we get into some takeaways?
What are you gonna take from me? I'm just kidding.
$5. You owe me that $5. I need to take that back.
All right, Venmo, here you come. Do you have any takeaways, or would you like me to do what do you how I want you to do takeaway.
All
Give
right,
us one.
sure.
Give us something good.
So I think a big one that we talked about today was that this is a yes and situation. That this isn't about ignoring or denying the pain or the negativity. It's really about embracing both, remembering both, embracing both. So
Yeah.
like you kind of like, widening your perspective or however you want to kind of put that. Like
Yeah.
that to me is a really important piece of definitely what we've talked about. How about you? What do you got?
Yeah. I would say I'm gonna go with my do and don't. I really like a do and
Oh,
don't, as you
yeah,
know.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like to say when it comes to gratitude, do say thank you and tip
Mm,
well when you can.
mm.
I know right now, let me
Tip
just
well?
put
Is that
it
what you said? Tip well?
tip well, yes.
Okay,
Tip
yeah.
over. Just kidding. No.
Tip over,
Tip
yeah.
well with okay, so here's let me yeah, I'll get to this. So I know right now, especially in this in this economy, we are all I know most people are like, what the fuck? Money sucks right now because
Yeah.
everything is so horrifically expensive. If you are gonna treat yourself, let's say if you are privileged enough to have the means, let's say you go to a restaurant or you get DoorDash or
Mhm,
whatever, make sure that if you're going to treat yourself, treat also your delivery people, treat your
mm,
service workers.
mm,
Make sure that you are saying thank you. I think there's something so important. I don't know if it's because my parents, especially I just always remember my parents always effusively, and I see it in my sister too, say thank you whenever we're at a restaurant, whenever
mm.
we're being helped by people. I just think, hey, you know what? Maybe that, oh shit, here we go. Reciprocal altruism is I know I get better service. I get better service when a person can tell that I see them as a human and I really appreciate their effort.
Mm.
And so
So is that transactional or is that truly just
it's
altruistic?
both. It
It's
really is
both.
both.
Yeah, it's
It
both.
is, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I have to
yeah,
own
yeah.
is I
It's a
know
transactional relationship for that hour that
yeah,
you're sitting at that server's table. Like
yeah,
it is. You're providing a service and I'm paying you for it. But also,
yeah.
you're a human being and you deserve courtesy and you deserve gratitude. And yeah, for sure.
Well, and I know that me saying thank you isn't gonna guarantee that I'm gonna great service. Me
True.
saying thank you may not mean shit to them. They may
Yeah.
not even hear it, and but it's
Yeah.
not about that. See, that's the part that is good because I actually want them to know, like, you're probably doing a million things, your back hurts, you're running around, you are having to be pleasant when maybe you don't want to, and you're
Mm,
choosing to do that, and I thank you for making my experience a at least neutral one, if not a positive one.
yeah.
So I think that that's what's super important is to not only say thank you as often as possible, because I do think there's something about when you can acknowledge that good things are happening and that
Yeah.
people are providing that, that it just, if anything, too, it kind of grosses me out when I don't see people have good manners. It really,
Oh.
it really throws me because I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Okay, asshole, like, you could have been a little more human about that."
Yeah.
But, that's whatever.
No,
But
I was
yeah.
at an event last night and somebody did something very very similar. They just sort of like walked out in the middle of somebody talking, like saying
Mm,
something, like in the middle of a sentence, and they just sort of exited the and I was like, that was rude. But
yeah,
I digress. Yeah,
yeah,
I like what you said about like saying it. Like it's not just saying it to a person, like the saying it out loud. This is, again, I'm going to go back to magic, and just because I don't know, that's where my brain is today, but there is a definitive impact to hearing your own words.
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know the science or the mysticism behind it, but when we say things out loud, it is as though they are happening.
Yeah.
It actually puts our brain into that space. And so
It makes
what
it
you're
real.
saying, it does. It actually, like, you're almost like you're manifesting it, right? Just with your
Yeah.
words. But saying thank you to other people, but then also speaking it. I do it. This is part of my practice. I say it to myself. I will stop and I will
Mhm.
say it out loud, and I will let the feeling hit me and like just sort of like reflect on it for 3 to 5 seconds. Like, it is not this, right? But
Yeah.
allowing it to be out loud and to manifest and to feel it, for those, that makes the impact. That is when my mood shifts and boosts. So I like
Yeah.
that you're saying say it out loud, because it really does make a difference in that
Yeah.
regard. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
can we say, I don't know if you would agree with this, but I'm going
Yeah.
to put it out there. To me, the ultimate, the epitome of sonic gratitude is Alanis Morissette's Thank You.
Oh, that song. Oh, makes me cry every time.
It's
Every
gorgeous.
time I
And
listen to it. Yep.
I, it came
Still,
out
30
when
years later, still makes me
yes.
cry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when it first came out because, it was such a drastic departure from Jagged Little Pill. It was her
Oh, yeah.
second album, and it's this beautiful, like, very, like, it starts out with these gorgeous, like, I don't know, this synthesizer tone that is just very gentle and
Yeah.
soft and makes you feel like shimmery almost. And she's talking about how can I do this or that, how about I don't, basically shit on myself. How about I not treat myself terribly? And
Yeah.
then gets to the chorus of thinking so many different things
Yeah.
and how that has transformed her. And I just think, like, if anybody wants to get in touch with gratitude and what it really means, like Alanis Morissette's Thank You from supposed
Yeah.
former infatuation junkie,
Uh-huh.
which is a great record,
Yes.
from like the 1998, I think. Yeah. So y'all should listen to it. Do not sleep on Alanis. She's incredible.
1998 is exactly right. I Googled the lyrics as you were talking. Holy crap, your memory for
I remember
pop music is
things. I mean,
incredible. It is
that's
incredible.
just,
It is
yeah.
unparalleled. Anybody else? I don't know anybody else who knows. You can pinpoint the year every time. You
Oh,
do it
yeah.
every time. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
meaningful. Those are those things that, I
Yeah.
mean, that, yeah. Anyway. So
Yeah.
that's just,
All right.
but
So what's your don't then? You gave a great do. You said thank you. Say
yeah.
thank you and tip when you can. What's your don't?
My don't is don't let gratitude enable settling or staying stuck.
Mm,
And I mean that in the way that I think sometimes we can go, well, at least I have this job and it pays the bills. And I'm grateful for that, even if I feel like it's killing me inside. Which,
mm,
okay, fine. That is true. I think it is important to try and appreciate what you presently have.
yeah.
But don't let gratitude stop you from striving. Don't let gratitude stop you from
Mm,
wanting more for yourself. Don't let it allow you to settle because you think you're asking for too much or not being grateful
mm,
when you want more for yourself. And
sure.
I think that's super important. That's why I think breaking down gratitude and talking about it more like this, like we are, is
Yeah.
such an important piece of helping people realize it's not just the binaries of you are or you aren't. It's like, it can be this, and then here's a little subsect of this, which makes this more complicated. Or it's,
Right.
it's a lot.
Well, you're making me remember. I don't remember the singular moment, but I remember the period in my life. It was in graduate school, and it was when I learned about the concept of yes and.
Mm,
I don't think I had ever been encouraged to think that way
mhm.
before. And I mean, the complexity of adult human emotions, I think, demands that we develop a yes and mindset,
Yeah.
because so many things are not just one feeling.
No.
So that yes and is strange, foreign. Like, it's a practice. It really is a learned behavior. But
Yeah.
the more often you can be in that headspace, the better off. I think the better off we are. Not I think, I know it's the
Yes.
better. We're holding those two truths, even if they seem diametrically opposed. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. There's space for both things because the world is both beautiful and horrible at the same time, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
frequently say, I have, like, 3 universal truths, and one of them is many things can be true at once,
Yeah.
and to me, like, that's what yes and is all about,
Yeah.
is we have to break out of this line of thinking that you're either good or you're bad, you're successful or you're a failure, you're, this or that, whatever. It can
Sure.
be so much more, and when we free ourselves from it, we're so much better for it.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay, what's another one you got, Jason?
Something that you said, and it was about like the small things, like that's what's kind of resonating. It's sometimes easy to forget about, difficult to dial into when things feel heavy or overwhelming. But like the remembering the small things, the getting molecular if you need to, right? My lungs,
Yeah.
I have the health enough for my lungs to breathe, for me to be awake and alive. And okay, sure, like maybe that you take that for granted often enough, you forget about it, but not every like you go ahead and meet somebody who doesn't have that lung
Mhm,
capacity or doesn't
mhm.
have that level of ability or health or mobility or and now you don't take
Yeah,
it for granted. Right, it's
yeah,
easier in contrast to go, oh shit, yeah, there are people that don't blah blah blah. So that to me, like, and the more often we do that, the acute you said something about maybe you didn't say it, maybe it's in the notes about pennies,
yes,
the
actually, yes,
metaphor about
that's
pennies.
one of my
I think
takeaways.
I think we're talking about the same thing. Say your thing about pennies
Yes,
because I think it
yes.
plays on the same thing.
It kinda came to me as I was, writing,
Yeah.
the note is I was like, "Oh, I" anyway, I'm sure this isn't original, but I essentially said, "Choosing gratitude is like collecting pennies. It
Mm.
might not seem like much at first, but over time, it adds up to something substantial." And I
Right.
really do see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The more often we remember to do it, the small things we collect them. It's these tiny little 1% mood boosts, right? And if you've done it enough times throughout the end of the day, maybe you're 10%, 15%,
Yeah.
20%, right? Like maybe
When
you're
you look
just
back at the
feeling
jar
it.
of gratitude, that thing
Yeah.
is overflowing if you do it
Right.
right.
Right. Yeah. I like that.
It's really
That's
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
One final takeaway that I just wanted to make sure to
Nice.
mention
Oh, I
was
missed that one. Yeah. Go ahead.
let gratitude be your teacher
Mm,
because it can tell you and show you what you can appreciate more, but also it does help you find those silver linings that might be hidden in the pain of the experience. If anything, I guess when I go through rough times, there is a part of me that's like, well, this is character building. And so, like, if I can, and that's just me, like, sometimes I say it have like a joke. Like, sometimes it's just me being
sure.
like, "Meh, meh."
Yeah.
But I also kind of mean it because I'm like, I'm going to have to figure my way out of this. And,
Yeah.
the other option is like, I don't, and what I just like collapse and die. I don't know. And so,
Right.
so, like, obviously, that's very
Right.
dramatic sounding, but, like, I just think until it's our last breath, we always have the next choice, the next step ahead. And so
Huh.
I always want to be open to, like, for example, when I see footage of it seems like every time they show kids who live in third world countries
Mm,
who don't have things that American children, many American children, not all, unfortunately, they do not have the basic, what we call necessities of necessarily running water or shelter or
sure.
guaranteed food. And yet they play and they sing and they find ways to appreciate their family.
Uh-huh.
And I think that that is something that if you can't learn how people find gratitude with what seems like literally nothing, then I think that's the ultimate challenge is to go, if I had nothing, literally, what would
Yeah.
I be able to find gratitude in? And
Right.
that I think is such a great teacher.
Yeah. Something else occurred to me too as you were talking about that. It can be kind of a this too shall pass,
Oh, always.
right? I may
Yeah.
not be able to connect to gratitude in this moment, but I know it exists somewhere in the near future. And whatever I'm going through right now, I know that there are good things ahead. I know that I will be okay. Right. That's again
Yeah.
sometimes hard to connect to, but if you can learn that lesson, internalize that lesson, it can make going through the hard times, I think, that much easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I believe we're at secret questions.
I feel like we need a little theme song for this section where we get,
Season
yeah.
2, watch out. It'll be
Nice.
you and I
Yes.
harmonizing on it.
But you're right. But we're both going to do it today, right? This is the first time
That's
we're doing
right.
this.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be
Yeah.
fun. That
Uh-huh.
actually it kind of happened in my last episode I did with Asher is that
Oh, nice.
we
Okay.
ended up both having questions and they were
Mm.
both interesting questions. So I'm like, why just keep it to just one? And then it's a secret for both people playing. So anyway, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So this definitely gets into like pretty much everything that we've talked about, but I'm
Hmm.
curious, like, how would you, all right, I'm just going to say it. Maybe for you, is
Uh-huh.
gratitude more of a feeling, a practice, or a decision?
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh god, I don't it changes. So yeah, it's kind of like it's like I don't have any children. However, I imagine from what I've heard is that when you have kids, it's not that one is your favorite necessarily. It's that sometimes it changes. Your
Hmm.
favorite is this kid at this moment for this reason or this reason. Like, a lot of
Sure.
parents don't want to
Sure.
admit that, but they do. There's moments where you're like, I like this kid way better than this one because they're being a little shit or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I look at, yeah, when it comes to that, I sometimes it's the feeling that brings me to tears and I love it. Sometimes it is about I have to keep practicing this because it's one of the only things that feels like it is in my control.
Mm.
And what was the third
Decision.
part? The decision. Every time. I mean, it can't happen without the decision. So to me, it's
Huh.
like I can't pick there. It's a baby mobile. There, you hit one piece, it hits them all.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like a Venn diagram. And it can shift just like you were
Yeah.
talking about. Sometimes it's more of a feeling, sometimes it's more of a practice. It's definitely a decision almost always, right? I don't
Yeah.
always decide. I might in that moment go, oh yeah, I'm grateful, but absolutely, yeah. I just thought it was a really interesting like way to kind of
Yeah.
think about it, because we don't always conceive of
No.
conceive of things in all of those different terms, but I like the integration of it. So yeah.
Well, my favorite is when I feel it. That I would say out of
Oh,
the
sure.
3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people really like a practice, some people really like making decisions. But yeah,
Yeah.
like if I feel like feeling it is like the final stage because that
Mm,
means because yeah, I feel like it takes one. You have to decide it, decide to practice it, and then the practice leads to the feeling. So
mm,
if I'm feeling it, then that means it's working. Like
sure.
it's the
Yeah.
practice, the factory is running itself. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, what
That's
about
good.
you
Yeah.
with that question? I think that's I would love to hear if yours
Oh,
differs or
that's what I was trying to get to, right? Like that Venn diagram. Like
okay.
I think it is almost all of those things all the time, at least
Yeah.
some percentage of the time. But I see it very similarly. It is very
Yeah.
much, I'm going to decide, or I'm going to practice, or the feeling just crops up and I didn't have to do anything. And so
Yeah.
you're right. It
Yeah.
doesn't kind of indicate that it's working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for my question?
Yeah.
All right. So, because I was thinking, like, I really like to think, okay, what is going to be something that I don't think Jason will say or what he'll expect, but also that will like bring some semi, hopefully, entertainment value to this.
Okay.
So, Jason, I want you to name something silly and or superficial that you are grateful for.
Ooh. Okay.
And the reason I'm
Um.
asking before you
Yeah.
answer is because
Uh huh.
I really want to make sure people know it doesn't just have to be the deep shit. You could be like,
Hmm.
I'm grateful that I'm having a banging hair day. Or, like, I am grateful that I got to, I don't know, like make out with that person. I don't know. And so, or that hot celebrity that came across my Instagram. Like, so anyway, that's just, I think it's important to know that it can be superficial and silly and still be gratitude.
Those were all the things I was going to say.
Was it really?
No, not at all.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
good.
this is my silly superficial answer. I am genuinely grateful for zero sugar Jolly Ranchers.
That's awesome.
I have a little dish of them next to my bed. I
Uh-huh.
have a few of them before I go to sleep. There's something comforting about just, I know if I have too many of them, it will upset my stomach because the
Uh-huh.
fake sugars or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But like, I genuinely enjoy that like tiny little like flavorful experience
Yeah,
before I go to sleep.
that's great.
So yeah, it's silly and it's really like I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, yes. So actually, this kind of, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but like this actually
Mm,
plays into, I had two shout outs,
mm,
and this kind of will play into one of
perfect.
them,
Yeah.
which is that I am so grateful for Jonathan Bailey being named Sexiest Man Alive. Because it is to me like, it's one of the few times I've seen such like a universal response of like, "Fuck yeah,
Sure.
this is great." But
Yeah.
also, he is an out, proud, and outstanding gay man.
Yep.
And to me, this is a first. And the fact that it's like, I don't know, he's done something that shows like he's got a good heart. He really cares about causes. He doesn't
Mm,
seem problematic. Obviously, I don't want to like make this guy sound like a saint because we all have
r-
things that we probably,
right.
would not want out there, but he's done a
Yeah.
great job, or him and his team have done a great job of him really coming across as like a solid human who just
Mm,
happens to be fucking sexy. And so, and just like the photo shoot was just like chef's kiss. I mean,
yeah.
the whole thing. So
Nice.
yes,
Yeah.
I have great gratitude for gorgeous, sexy men that just have a devilish grin.
Mm, nice. I like it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's undeniably handsome.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
great, and he's having a moment, which is also fun.
Yeah. Super. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That speaks to one of my shout outs.
Oh, yeah?
So we're the time that we're recording this, it's the day after. I watched the NBC Wicked for Good special last night with my
Yeah,
husband. Sobbing, tears, like
yeah,
just incredible. He was only part of it for like the pre-recorded segments, which was
yeah.
fine. Did you watch it as well?
I haven't yet, but I've seen clips.
Okay, yeah. Just unbelievable. Like I am still every time I see Cynthia Erivo sing, I cannot believe how unbelievably good her voice is and how large it is coming out of such a small human.
Yeah.
Like she is one of the smallest adult humans
It's
out
crazy.
there. It's crazy. And it's
She's tiny.
so powerful and so crisp and pure. And it's just, and I mean, and Ariana too. Like I can't, it's undeniable. The both of them are small and powerful. And it's just, so we already have our tickets. We're super excited
I know, I need to get
for the
mine.
21st. Yeah, it's
Yes.
coming out on Friday
I also
where we
wanted,
live.
it's funny because I saw that you had put
Yeah.
that in your note
Mm-hmm.
as one of your shout outs, is that I was going to mention how I wasn't like somebody that really had followed Wicked. I knew of Wicked like years and
Mm,
years ago. And then it was actually, this is God, so ridiculous. When Oprah had her final season, they had like multiple celebrations. And one was this mega, like in this giant, like arena,
mm,
space.
sure.
And one of the things was, I believe, Kristen Chenoweth came out and sang
Mm,
for good. And it was
yeah.
the first time I'd ever heard it. And I was
Really?
like
Oh,
sobbing because I mean, and
oh,
to me, that perfectly parlays into what gratitude's all about. Because I knew
oh.
you, I was changed for good.
I'm not going to
Like,
spoil it, but you need to watch the special.
oh, I know. I saw the clip. I saw, yes. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So,
There's a piece of that though that I think you probably haven't seen. I don't think it's in
oh,
any clips.
oh, okay, good.
You
Good
got to
to
watch the whole
know.
thing. Yeah,
Okay, great.
it's really special. Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
really
another
I
song
think
that's about
yeah,
really appreciating things is For Good from Wicked, which everybody
yeah.
and their mother's gonna probably have memorized, in a month from
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're already leaning into the shout outs. So
Yeah. Well,
what
what's
else you
your
got?
oh, I thought you were gonna do you have any others or do you want me
Yeah,
to
I do. Yeah. So something that I was feeling grateful for. It's just modern medicine,
Mhm.
which is maybe a little silly, but like it's we can do so many unbelievable things, and just to be able to go for a checkup and get 50,000 tests done, and then be told, hey, like your body's working the way it needs to. I'm like, Awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a good peace of mind that I'm doing, the right things and all that. So modern medicine for sure, like just
Yeah.
nice. And then I talked about it earlier, but sweater weather, the season change,
Sweater weather.
the cool weather, the being able to wear big comfy sweaters and just be
Layers.
cozy, and layers is awesome, and blankets and warm
Yeah.
beverages, and I'm not a pumpkin spice whore, but it's good. It's tasty. So yeah, yeah. I'm just really grateful for the change in seasons. It's always my favorite time of year. All right, what else you got?
So my final shout out is just, and this one I have so much gratitude for. My sister and my brother-in-law, they had a cat that had it's because of circumstances, it's a indoor outdoor, and the cat had, it's a long story, but basically the cat got away, and they tried looking for it, and like
Mm.
this was weeks and weeks ago,
Oh
and
gosh.
it just seemed, and she's this young little sweet baby that really has been like pampered, and so we were, just
Aw.
thinking, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is
Thinking the worst.
so, yeah, and just, but
Yeah.
also like, Chris, my mom is like, who knows, like things can happen and whatever, but it's just like with every day you're just kind of like, I don't know, the likelihood is whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, just, it was on the night of a full moon, and the cat's name is Luna.
Oh
um
my gosh.
they
Really?
were contacted from I believe from a Facebook group that they had posted on, and somebody, luckily not too far from where she had gone away, they found her and they went and picked her up, and she just immediately knew who they were, and it was just
Oh,
apparently this really emotional moment. And so anyway, it was just like, oh my god, this is a miracle, because we just
yeah.
really thought we weren't ever going to see her again, and like, I'm
Wow.
just so happy for my sister, my brother-in-law, my
Yeah, that's
nephews,
huge.
because like our animals are our family, and she's just the sweetest. I'll probably post a little picture for anybody who's watching,
Yeah.
to just so you know how fucking adorable this little girl is. But I'm just so grateful for the
Yeah.
goodness of people who looked out and saw this animal and took her
Mm,
in and did the research. And thank you, Good Samaritans, who do the right thing. You don't know how much you make people's lives so much better. So
yeah.
thank you, and welcome home, Luna. I'm so glad you're home, and I
Aw.
can't wait to see you at Thanksgiving.
And good job, Linda, keeping hope alive.
That's, has lived a lot of life. That's my mom. And
Yeah.
hey mom.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, we're all just thrilled. So yay.
That's really cool. That's really great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Shawnee,
Excellent.
thanks for doing this episode with me. I'm grateful.
I know you mean it, but also,
Yeah.
yeah, no, same, dude. Yeah, always
Yeah.
like, gratitude is, I think, something that we both really see value in, and of course, like we haven't even said it, like this is coming out, like very near Thanksgiving,
Uh-huh.
and which is already such a loaded time, and for many reasons. But I think that's what I always try to lean into with Thanksgiving, is remembering that we can make it about, I'm so thankful for fill in the blank, as
Yeah.
many blanks as you want. And for that it doesn't have to be tied to any historical event or card company or whatever.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I
Right.
just think that that's one reason why I really liked when put gratitude out there as a
Yeah.
topic.
Cool. Thanks.
So, thanks, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our episode. And as Sean mentioned, it is coming out. So we just should be hearing this Thanksgiving week. Well, we are grateful for everybody who listens and watches and gives us feedback and just enjoys the show. Obviously, like we're doing this to put it out in the world so that people can get a little bit of something from it. So we're grateful for you, and hopefully
Yeah.
you're grateful for the work. So until next time, have a great holiday season, and just remember to take a breath and
Collect your thoughts.
see ya.
Bye.